My name is Josh, and I got rejected from my dream school. So I wanted to make this video because I know a lot of my subscribers and viewers may have applied to colleges during this whole application season and might be feeling a little lost right now if you got rejected or deferred from your dream school. First of all, that stuff happens. And here's the thing, I was rejected too. Well, I wasn't rejected at first, I was deferred, and it really still hurts to watch that video. I posted the video on my college acceptance or college decision reactions video, and every time I see it, it's still like, it doesn't really hurt me as much anymore, but to think about all the emotions that were going through my head during that time, I don't really want to relive that. However, it did teach me a lot about myself and basically what I wanted out of life. So my dream school was the University of Chicago. Well, it was one of my dream schools, but for a lot of high school, I convinced myself that UChicago was the place that was perfect for me. I thought the quirkiness and the life of the mind and just the academic focus of the school and how not really intense it was, but how, like, it just really seemed appealing to me at first that a school was so heavily focused on academics and were so focused on learning as much as they can just in general. One of my friends who actually ended up getting into the school, and I would talk about this and would, like, mutually geek out about our enthusiasm for the school. And even when in junior year, my school sponsored a college trip that was thankfully covered by my financial aid, but the school sponsored a college trip. We went to a bunch of colleges in the Midwest, including UChicago, and toured it. I loved it, or so I thought. And here's the thing, there's a reason that I'm making this video and saying why dream schools suck, and that is, you don't really understand why you like a dream school. It's more that you're clouded by emotions sometimes, and that you can't really enumerate why you love a certain place and why it appeals to you. And frankly, when you're an 18-year-old, a 17, 18-year-old, you don't know yourself that much and how well you fit into an environment. Sometimes you have to have other people reflect on that for you. So, I ended up applying early action to the school. I couldn't apply early decision because of monetary reasons, and my parents were reluctant to commit to that. So I ended up applying early action to the school. One of my friends, like the one that I would talk about UChicago with, applied early decision. So when decisions came out, we were both in the same class. As soon as the clock hit, I think it was like 2 o'clock or 1:30 or something like that, we both checked our decisions. She got accepted, and I got deferred, and I was heartbroken. If you see, I'm going to insert the clip of my initial deferral right here.
Femur is the thigh.
The thigh, which is why your bone is called the femur. Oh wow. I just like patella because it's a gentle.
Yeah.
That was the only thing Miss Young taught me last year.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
It's like you amped up to 11.
Any luck, Josh? You can't expect
I'm
to
also waiting for
It
it might have
Julia,
crashed. Yes, Yulia. Yeah, it's really
Damn it, I'm deferred. It's painful. It's painful to watch. And just to know, like, the emotions that were going through my head, I know how much it sucked. Like, I really thought I had a chance at the school. So after that, I went to my counselor's office, or first of all, I went to the bathroom, texted my parents, texted my friends, and was just, like, kind of freaking out about this, trying to, like, hold back tears, hold back my emotions, and pretend I was okay. I was okay. It was just a deferral. And then I went to my counselor's office and just sat there in shock. She went to UChicago and, like, kind of understood how much I liked the school, and I just sat there with no words. I couldn't understand, like, I couldn't really fathom the fact that I got deferred and not accepted. I really thought that I did something different, and, like, they would accept 2 people in the early action round. They ended up accepting 3 people from my school that year, and that's insane for a tiny class of 60. But basically, I always felt like I had that chance. That really sucked. I sat there just without words and kept saying, like, I don't know how to feel. And I knew how I felt at the time. I wanted to cry. I was super sad. So that was my story with my early action deferral. Before I move on to the rest of the story, some friends and I ended up making a deferral support group chat and also a rejection support group chat. The kids from that group chat ended up getting into amazing places like Yale, Princeton, full scholarships at Duke and Vanderbilt, got into Emory, UNC, University of Virginia, WashU, Boston University, Purdue, and a bunch more other amazing places. So, first of all, if you get deferred, it's not the end of the world. You're going to go somewhere good because we all went to awesome places after getting deferred. But point is, what I learned from getting that deferral is that sometimes admissions officers can see more of who you are through your letters of recommendation, through your essays, and through your interviews to a certain extent, and through just like all of these other factors that aren't necessarily just you representing yourself. And I realized that maybe there was a side to me that other people saw and I didn't see in myself. Like, this whole process of college applications is about, first of all, finding out where you're going to fit in for college, but also discovering who you are and discovering yourself. Sometimes you even discover yourself through your results. Places you never considered ever might be the ones that revealed to want you the most. For me, my turning point when I started to realize that UChicago probably wasn't a good fit for me at all was when I got accepted into USC and UNC in the same day. So with USC, I got accepted with a scholarship invite for their full tuition scholarship. And that was a big turning point for me because I never realistically considered USC. I kind of applied because I knew they had merit scholarships, and I toured during the summer. I didn't love it, but I kind of liked it enough to apply. I almost didn't apply also there. But after getting that interview and ultimately the scholarship, I started to think about, wow, these are the kinds of schools that want me. And that pattern started to permeate throughout the rest of my results. I ended up getting into Vanderbilt with a full scholarship too, and Dartmouth. And what that taught me was those three schools emphasized things that were quite literally the opposite of UChicago. They weren't the ones that were super academically inclined and academically focused, and there's a culture around doing well and learning as much as you can. No, they're schools about not only academics and learning as much as you can from other people, but also having fun and like experiencing college life to its fullest at the same time. Those schools had vibrant student life and like campus life, and so it started to be very obvious to me that those were the kinds of schools that started to fit me a lot more. So when I got into USC and UNC, USC is a big football school and UNC is a big basketball school. They have incredible sports cultures and get super spirited around that. UChicago doesn't really have that. They don't have D1 sports. I found that also in Vanderbilt. And even in Dartmouth, even though their sports aren't like D1 SEC level, but they're the type of school that's just super passionate about their identity and like super out there about everything that they do and wear it with pride. And UChicago wasn't really like that. So it got me thinking, like, these are the kinds of schools that are revealing themselves to want me the most and to fit me very well, apparently, according to my applications and according to my recommendations and all of that material. The point is, if you didn't get into your dream school, it's not necessarily that you are unqualified in some way, but rather that the admissions officers in the school didn't really view you as someone who would fit so well into the culture and the community of the school. Like, yeah, that kind of school might be the one that you wanted initially, but it might not be the best match for you. And that ended up being very clear to me. I went from wanting a school that was very intense and academically focused to being accepted to a bunch of schools that valued campus community and school spirit the most. I went from wanting a school in a big city to loving one in the middle of nowhere. As my results started to come in, what I had as a preconception of what I wanted out of college changed a lot during my senior year as these results started to show that, like, these are the schools that fit me and that view me as someone who can contribute to their community more. And the overarching lesson that I can give you from this and that you can take from this is that you're going to end up where you belong. A place that understands you and values you and has a place for you. It's going to be okay, and I didn't believe that at first until I got accepted to places. It's going to work out in the end, so don't worry. Just trust the process. So when that comes to where you should apply to college, don't apply all to the same school. Throw in some wild cards in there. Throw some colleges that might be a little different from what you expected you wanted. Yes, I applied to 23 schools, and do not recommend that at all. Absolute max, if you have financial reasons to like shotgun for merit scholarships, 15. If you don't, like, if your parents can comfortably pay for whatever, 10 should be the max. However, what I'm saying is that with that diversity of schools that I was applying to, I discovered a lot about myself and discovered a lot about what kind of school I really wanted versus one that I thought I wanted. I realized in the end that I really liked UChicago initially, because I kind of got swept up in peer pressure, to be honest. Like, my one good friend really liked the school, so I kind of got pushed along with that and kept convincing myself, oh, I like the school, I like the school, I like the school. But my friends that ended up getting accepted into UChicago or ended up attending UChicago were very different from who I was. So what I'm saying here is that if you got rejected from your dream school or deferred or something like that, it may just be that you don't know yourself as well as you think you do. After all, most of the people that are applying for college are like 17, 18, 16, and that's a very young age to have a conception of who you are as a person. So this should be, rather than a failure or a setback or anything like that, this should be a learning experience. From this college application process, figure out who you are and let that reveal itself through the colleges that you get into and the results that you get, and overall just take senior year and this whole process as a period of self-discovery. But wait, what if I didn't get into any college this year? Consider the fact that maybe you might not have presented yourself in the most authentic way or in the most complete way on your applications. If you try to write as authentically and as completely as you can, what I'm saying in this video will apply to you. If you don't, however, that's going to be something that reveals itself in the end, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So to all my viewers that ended up not getting into their dream school during this early application round, stay true to yourself, keep trying, keep being you, and trust the process, because it'll work out in the end. Alright, so before I end this video, I will say that I am still reading essays. However, I'm going out of the country in like 2 days, so ASTRA App Solutions, which is in the description box below, by the way, is going to be run more primarily by my friend Margot, who was one of the people that got deferred from her early action school. She is a national award-winning writer and gives some damn good edits, so just know that although I may not always be the one reading your essays, you'll still be in good hands, so check her out, or check the company out down below. And yeah, alright, so I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on what I said in here. So yeah, peace, and I'll see you in a few weeks, probably at school. Alright.